I guess particularly what you might have told Larry, coming from not only a background in law, but transitioning into the role of CEO of Harry Rosen. What might you have told him on leadership and how to become an entrepreneur? Any tips that you might have given him and that you might give a student?
Back of your question, I repeat pretty much what I've been saying right along. My son, even though he doesn't do what I do, and that is to work on the selling floor, he'll look at stores and but he will not engage with customers as I do. I told him to never lose his focus when it comes to seeing what's happening on the selling floor, because the danger in central buying, which is what we have here, sees the buyer develop a sort of a niche of their own, and they start to talk a different language than the people in the store, because they're out there in the world and they're seeing vendors who talk about the product for a variety of reasons. And when they come back and they talk to the staff, it doesn't really get to them. So you've got to always be able to communicate to your staff and understand there's a gap between your buying, particularly if it's central, and they're receiving the merchandise and knowing why you bought it and what particular got you to buy it and what are the features about that product. And that's what I tried to get Larry to understand. He did very well and he's continuing to do very well where real estate is concerned. He's increased the size of our major properties. Across the country at one time we had upward of 20 stores. Today we only have 15. But in Vancouver we have a 27,000 square foot store rather than the 6,000 square feet we started with. In Calgary we're going to 30,000 feet rather than the 6,000 feet we started with. Here at Bloor Street we have a flagship store that's 50,000 feet. And he's done all that. He's done all that. He's watched the sales results. He's communicated with our staff. The biggest concern I have is that this dichotomy between buying and selling ever becomes a real schism. Because if it does, it's what plagues a lot of organizations. I've watched people that run department store chains in the United States, and I've talked to their buyers, and they're just living on a world apart from what's going on the selling floor. When it comes to having 50 or 60 stores out there with managers, all of whom have their own opinion, they do not communicate. And so the merchandise comes into the store, and they don't understand why, and the motivation to sell it and why they should sell it is lacking. So that's what I told Larry that he should avoid having happening to him.
Okay. Well, I can't thank you enough for your time, for
right.
coming in and speaking to the
I hope it's useful to you.
Very useful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I sometimes talked away from your questions, but you can change your questions. How about that?
We might say we can do that. And of course, we'll be getting a copy of this. But once again, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, you're a very good interviewer.
So I just
Lucky
want
man.
to say
Thank you.
Everyone out there that you can find out more about Harry Rosen online, Harry's magazine, or of course, if you're going to Ryerson, there's a store just around the corner at the Eaton Center. So thanks for coming by.
Very good. Thank you.